Right, we're working on a 2016 Kia Sorento, and got a lot of stuff disconnected here. The problem with this thing is it's not coming out of park, and you have to override it by pushing this down, just push it down, and of course I'm not going to be able to hold the phone, to show you a whole lot. It's going to be hard. I can maybe try one hand. There you go. But here's the deal, real quick. There's a pink wire. Well, if I could disconnect it. Go figure. Okay. Down here is this bulkhead connector. Pull that out. Okay, so this green wire that you see, that's what energizes the solenoid. The pink wire that you see, there's a pink wire in there. Okay, there's two pink wires, but the one that's closer to the one that's black, because I can't maneuver things around to show it to you, it's terrible. Okay, there's a pink wire right next to the black one over here. That is the park signal. That gets sent to the body control module to let it know that it's in gear or out of gear, according to the shifter. Now the transmission control module, that's a different system there, where you could show that it's in gear. So it'll show park, and if I get it out of gear, it'll show drive. Sorry, my phone doesn't focus. It'll show drive. Drive, reverse, park. Okay, so we know it's in park, but the problem is the shifter, it knows it's in park also, because it grounds that pink wire when it's in park. And I'm trying to plug this thing back in. Okay, so that pink wire gets grounded, and every time you do that, it should go on off, on off. So yeah, this is pretty much impossible to show, but anyway, bottom line is I'm going to get a ground on that pink wire. And what I can't show you what I'm doing. It's a terrible video. This is using a power probe, and it's going to ground. But what I did is already verified it was going to ground down here. I just had to verify whether or not it was going to ground on my BCM, because if I pull up my data shows that my park signal is not in park. Okay, so I had to go up here to see whether or not I was getting a ground signal going to that pink wire, going to the BCM. And I am. I'm getting a ground signal from this switch. So what it really comes down to is that the BCM is bad. But this was a pain in the butt to get this out. Okay, and I'm going to show you how it comes out. This gets pulled straight forward, but it is tough. I mean, super tough to get that thing to pop loose. Once you get it popped loose, that gives you access to there's two bolts on the bottom here. One here, one here. This is for the HVAC head. Then you can get some plastic pry bar, and pry that thing apart. But it's tough. I'm telling you, you'll feel like it's going to break. But that's how it comes apart. Actually, the solenoid circuit what energizes the solenoid, that's not what's going bad. What the problem is, the BCM, if it doesn't see that it's in park, it's never going to energize the solenoid. So it's a logic problem. That's it. Alright, buddy. Thanks, guys. I hope this helps you out. I hope it helps somebody out. Had to do a little bit of research on that. Oh, by the way, here's some other stuff. There's another piece of paper here I'll show you. Hold on one sec. I found this in Identifix, and it shows at the shifter things that you can check all the way down the list. And of course, that last thing was the green wire energizes the solenoid. The pink wire is for the park switch. They want you to verify that you have ground. Yeah, if it doesn't ground, the reference voltage shifting in and out of park, and you got to fix that problem. Green wire shifts solenoid. Let's see here. Blue wire is for that's power going to it, so you should have power on the blue wire. And I'm trying to see what else. Anyway, you can pull this on. The blue black wire is your brake pedal released. And then, okay, yeah, that's at the brake pedal itself. But it's showing that I have a brake pedal on the scan tool. But no matter what I do, I can't get it to read that I'm in the park. Even if I ground it directly at the PCM. See, there's my brake switch. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Okay, a few days later, I'm back. They brought me a BCM and a backup camera. When I originally started working on this car, I put it in reverse, and the backup cam would go crazy, and I'd get a bunch of lights coming on in the dash, and and then, you know, we didn't diagnose it right away. Then it fixed itself, and then it's like, okay, now what? You know, so it did have some CAN codes in it, a bunch of CAN codes, and so, you know, looking it over and everything, it's watching some other videos, concluded that it was the body control module. So then we're like, I guess they're going to go ahead and try to fix it. I told them it needed a body control module, and it's going to need a backup camera, but the shifter wouldn't come out of park, and that was the original complaint. That's the main complaint, is that the shifter is not going to come out of park. So turn the key on, and obviously it doesn't come out, and you have to put a screwdriver down here to get it to move. So we went up there and diagnosed the wiring down in the shifter, like we talked about. And so here I am, you know, getting it prepared to put the BCM in it. And of course, I brought these back. Like I said, this thing is tough to get out. We popped that out. There was a couple screws under there. Popped those out, and then popped this out, and it's really hard to get apart. And then took this radio assembly out, and it's hard to get apart too, because this whole panel comes off. And what I wanted to show everyone is just how this thing comes apart, because it's the difficulty of this thing popping out of place. These clips are held in there pretty tight. It's one hell of a design that they put in this thing to keep it in. So you got 3 clips on the top. You got a couple screws on the bottom. and you got 3 clips on this side. And then also to get the radio out, here is what it looks like on the back of this panel. This is what you're dealing with. You got clippies that go around all the way around, and it's super tough to get out. Like I said, it feels like it's gonna break. You got to be careful prying right here. It's always loud in the shop. Sorry guys, but yeah, this just pops out with clippies, a whole bunch of them. So I got the radio out. There's a screw down inside of here. You'll see to get the body control module. I've got the body control module loose right now. And also on the other side, you got to pull the glove box. Hey, there you go. You got it. There's another guy over there working on the truck, trying to get it started. Sounds like there's success over there. So anyhow, this is the body control module, the other side of it. And there's a bolt up here, of course, and it's just dangling right there. The glove box, it's tough to get out too. This is a whole assembly right there, the glove box assembly. And so there's a couple of points here I'll make. There's a screw here, there's a screw here, there's a clippy here, right there. And then there's a whole bunch of bolts. There's a nut down here, there's a nut here, there's a nut there, there's a nut over here. And behind this thing, I'm gonna get this thing in good position here. There's a clippy here, clips here, a clip over there. There's some screws that come up to the top. 1, 2, 3, and also this. Yeah, this is this side. There's a couple clippies. I mean, everything. I mean, this thing is just hard to get these clips to come apart. Well, I mean, it's hard to. It holds it in there pretty tight. It's a good design, but it's really tough to get apart. You think things are going to break. Excuse me. So this right here was a struggle also. This little wire right here plugs in the switch right there. And I had a hard time getting that out too. I had to have a little screwdriver and you push right there on the top and it'll pop out of there. Let's see what else we got. This bottom panel, just push these on the bottom. These here remove, you know, and it'll allow you to pop that bottom cover off. Here's the glove box. And there's a couple of things here, and pivots down, and then you can pull your pins out. You pull your pins out of these. There's another one over there. So this whole cover comes off. So I got to send this thing out to get it programmed for the body control module. I hope it takes care of the shifter problem. That's the whole point of doing everything. But like I said, the thing with the backup camera, I have a premonition that this camera is causing some issues. So I went ahead and decided to put a new camera back here. That might be pulling down my CAN network system. I don't know for sure. But I know there's corrosion inside of there, and I've seen a couple of guys take these apart and it's just full of corrosion, so I'm not going to take any chances with it. I did see it act up at one time where I put it in reverse, and things would just start going crazy on the dash. And anyhow, put a new camera in it. But these things, this is hard to get apart too, because it's got these clips and you got to push on this side and that side. But this side, you take these screws out. Once you get all the nuts off of it, it's got a couple of nuts that go around, you know. But once you get all the nuts off and take the tail lights out, I couldn't get this unclipped because I couldn't get to it. It's hidden. So I had to take a screwdriver and, you know, push up on it, and this one broke. This one over here broke halfway. But I had to have another guy come and help me. It took two of us to get these clips to unclip. There's no way you can get up in there. They got it buried. So there's parts of this job here that are really tough, and I'm not a body guy. I get irritated trying to do body work. So it's frustrating. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want people to know how this thing comes apart, because I struggled with it myself. You can see here, there's a couple of clips that comes all the way across. But that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to put this thing back together. We're going to send it out to Kia, have the BCM programmed, and hopefully when I get it back I can shift it in and out of park and everything will be good, and I'll let you know. Well, good morning everyone. It's Tuesday morning. Just got in work and got this Kia back from Kia, because they programmed the body control module and got that all straightened out. So I got to put all this stuff back together, but it's fixed. That's awesome. So everything pointed to the body control module being bad, and that's why this thing wouldn't come out of park. But you know, you can only take it so far in your diagnostics, and then at some point you gotta go with it, and that's all we can do. So here it is. This thing shouldn't just come right out of the park. I used to have to use a screwdriver, but now she comes right out of park. Pretty cool. And here's the body control module. That's it. You got two plugs on the front, couple plugs on the side, and so now all I got to do is just put all this stuff back together. Awesome. All right, well, hey, I hope this helps somebody down the road, and that's cool. I feel really good about it. Knocking out some stuff. I'll take the luck. Any luck I can get. So, alrighty. Talk to y'all later.